Okay people, so the latest anime of Dragon Ball has finally come to an end with Dragon Ball Daima. We got something really awesome to discuss on Akira Toriyama's past in terms of something very interesting on the early days of Toriyama, including a picture of him in his earlier years, which is very interesting to see. So we're gonna dive into all of that Dragon Ball goodness. We also have a bunch of news in the world of Demon Slayer. Haven't talked about Demon Slayer in a while over here, but we got some stuff for the upcoming film as well as the upcoming video game, Hirokami Chronicles 2. We have an update on all of that. Yeah, very much so. Gonna be a lot of really good stuff for the world of Demon Slayer coming this year. Likewise, we've been waiting a very long time, and it seems as though the anime gods is ready to bless One Punch Man fans because we finally got an update on One Punch Man anime season 3. We're gonna get into all of that and much more in this episode of Forever News, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it!
You see right through those things, I see right through it too. You see right through the things I cannot say to you.
And of course, before we continue, if you would hit that subscribe button and that bell, I'd greatly appreciate it. You'd get updated on the world of anime and manga when I drop my videos, and everyone wins, so please hit them buttons. Okay, so first story that I wanted to cover today is a couple of different things in the world of Dragon Ball. For starters, something that I found to be very much so awesome tidbits, information about Akira Toriyama in his younger days, because new details of Toriyama's early design career have emerged, and it features a rare rediscovered illustration as well as a really awesome pic of Toriyama in his younger days. I'm not sure how many people have seen this one, but it started as a pic of Toriyama when he was younger. I don't know, Toriyama just, he had that swag, you know, from the get-go, you know what I'm saying? But we got some information, Toriyama's early career at Daiichi Shiko. So let's read. Before becoming a legendary manga artist, Akira Toriyama worked at Daiichi Shiko, a design company in Nagoya. He was employed there for about 2.5 years, starting in 1974. His role involved creating hand-drawn designs for paper bags and advertising flyers. Even at this early stage, his artistic talent stood out, earning him a reputation for exceptional artistic skill. Right here you can see a rediscovered illustration and legacy of an image that Toriyama created back in the day. A rare illustration from Toriyama's time at Daiichi Shiko was recently discovered in storage. The artwork was an early design for a clothing store sign in Gifu Prefecture. The rediscovery of this illustration highlights Toriyama's artistic roots and further cements his legacy as a visionary artist who continues to inspire creators worldwide. And that's classic Toriyama. See, like, I always say this stuff, but it's just the truth that this is more of what Toriyama's heart truly was when he first started. You go to the Dr. Slump days, you go to OG Dragon Ball, especially early OG Dragon Ball, he was more so just like a fun, lighthearted, loving kind of creator or whatnot. Is when, you know, the fans was like, but we love it when he makes these fights, we love it when he gets serious, that he was like, all right, you love it, then here you go. And the higher ups was like, yo, they love it, let them know how much, you know, you appreciate it, write more of that. Because right here is like a combo of Pharma with a shotgun type of vibes mixed with Neko Majin Z and just all around really awesomeness. Like, it's just unique and a nice design, and it's so dope to see again something that Toriyama did way back in the day. Shout outs to whoever found this. And then also something on his work ethic and encouragement from a colleague. Toriyama's former colleague Yasuhiro Fujine shared memories of working late nights with him. Despite rumors that Toriyama was lazy due to his habit of arriving late to work, Fujine described him as a serious and diligent worker. I've heard a lot of people say that about Toriyama, because if you go to the archives of like Toriyama interviews, mans would be like, yo, my deadline was 7 a.m. so I would start my manuscript after I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I would get it done. And a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, like this guy, what type of man was he? But even his colleagues from his early days say very differently. Like, he was probably just talking tongue-in-cheek in most of those interviews, and he was a very humble dude. It wasn't that he was, you know, a lazy guy by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think anybody could possibly be in the manga industry as a manga author and be considered lazy. It's just impossible. They don't equate unless they're handing in stick figures or something like that with each and every release. And even then, there's an art to stick figures if you're really putting in your time and effort. So yeah, just want to throw that in there. No shade to stick figures either. Fujine was also the one who encouraged Toriyama to submit his manga to a magazine. You know, Fujine gotta come in, yo, I was the one that put Toriyama. Like, okay, Fujine. No shade to Fujine either. Shortly after leaving Daiichi Shiko, Toriyama debuted Dr. Slump in Weekly Shonen Jump, launching his legendary career in manga. And wow, what a career it was. And again, that image of Toriyama from back in the day, rocking the fro, looking epic. And yeah, it's really nice of a tidbit to see what Toriyama was like before, you know, Dr. Slump, before his rise in Weekly Shonen Jump. Mans was always him. Moving forward, we got a ton of stuff in the world of Demon Slayer that I wanted to talk about today. For starters, we got something to do with the upcoming film, we got a release date, and we also got a release date for the upcoming video game, Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, I am very much so excited that this next time that Demon Slayer is coming to theaters, it is not what they've been doing the last couple times Demon Slayer came to theaters, because last few times it's been, yo, here's one episode that is about to air in a couple of weeks anyways, mixed with 2 episodes you already saw on your TV or on your phone like a year ago or something. Like, here you go. And for me personally, after the first time around, I was like, yeah, won't be going to the theaters for Demon Slayer anymore unless it's an actual movie, because it just felt like it was a waste. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real. For me personally, I was not a fan of it. The first time around, I was like, all right, I think I'm good on this. So now that they're actually going forth and they're doing this, putting it in theaters, first of all, you already know that Studio Ufotable, they're the same studio that they've made the Fate franchise, and the Fate franchise is one of the most gorgeous looking things in the world as far as fluidity of art and animation. And yeah, Demon Slayer itself has just been a gorgeous view, to say the least, as far as again what they've been able to craft. And if they're making this next and final end of the Demon Slayer story into films, you know it's going to be absolute cinema. Let's read, because the first Demon Slayer film of the Infinity Castle arc will be releasing July 18th 2025. So we got something huge this summer for the world of anime, and I'm really curious to see what this is going to do. Not necessarily that numbers matter or any of that stuff, but just out of curiosity and comparison, because most people attribute a lot of the Mugen Train's success of the Demon Slayer film due to the fact that at that time COVID restrictions was real strict, but they somehow allowed for the Demon Slayer movie to go to theaters and for people to go to the theaters. So a lot of people say that a good chunk of the success of Demon Slayer's film that went to theaters with the Mugen Train was because of the pandemic, so to speak. That is one of the main reasons why it happened like that. So now that this is a real film going to theaters for Demon Slayer, it's not like what they did with the last 2 rodeos, so to speak. I'm very curious to see, will it be able to even come close to the numbers of Mugen Train? I'm going to say that it's going to be extremely successful to a certain degree. Mugen Train's, you know, situation and the time period or whatnot, I do think even prior to that, when the anime, the first season of the anime was popping off, everybody was going crazy for Demon Slayer, and then it just added to the fact. So if Demon Slayer's Mugen Train movie did like $500 million in sales, I'm gonna say that this movie is still going to be successful, probably well over $100 million, but we'll see. And either way, I don't really care about the numbers. That was just more so to, you know, kind of discuss on, you know, what the time period was like back then compared to what it's going to be like now that, you know, there's no restrictions, and hopefully won't be any restrictions when this film drops, because yeah, we just all want a good movie. Also in the world of Demon Slayer, again, the new video game is supposed to be dropping real soon. I'm a massive fan of the first Hinokami Chronicles game. I played that game probably more than most people have played that game, and they finally are releasing the second one after the first game. They cut off support for it for quite some time ago, so I've been expecting, like, if they are going to do another Demon Slayer game with that same, Cyber Connect 2, it's probably going to come sooner than later, since they didn't DLC anymore for quite some time. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles 2 release date revealed. Hot on the heels of the news about the Japanese premiere date for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle's first part, we have an update on the next video game. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles 2 is officially set to launch on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam in North America and Europe on August 5th. So essentially less than a month after the film is in theaters over there in Japan, the game is going to drop. I'm curious if the movie drops, now that I think about it, over there in Japan in July. I forgot that there is a buffer in between the Japanese release and the North American release, so we might not actually see that movie, now that I think about it, until after the video game drops. So the video game drops in August. Maybe the film will come out over here in October, depending on how much of a success it is over there. Then they might expedite it for a quicker release. But yeah, I forgot about the buffer between Japan getting the film and us getting the film. They actually put out a trailer for the movie for over here in the West. September 12th will be the release date for the upcoming Demon Slayer film. So there you go. Those who pick up the digital deluxe edition will get to play early starting on July 31st. Despite the fact that I am a fan of owning the physical, maybe tradition suits for me to go with the digital again for Demon Slayer. I don't know. I do like me some physical copies though. A new trailer arrived along with the news to show off the story mode's take on the Entertainment District arc. And here's a breakdown of the editions that go on pre-order March 3rd for the PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam, with Switch pre-orders following later. Digital Deluxe Edition is going to be $70. It comes with the base game, 2 Kimetsu Academy character unlock keys for Rengoku and Uzui, 4 character unlock keys for Uzui, Iguro, Shinazugawa, and Himejima, versus mode system voice upper ranks demon set. Honestly, as I'm going through a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna be real. I could read all this here. Look, it's on the screen for you guys so you can check it out yourself. I'm getting the base game. I may get a digital depending on if I decide to go for the digital or the physical or not, because when I read a lot of this stuff, you know, some attire costumes, it's cool, I guess. Pre-order bonuses, advanced access is probably one of the best things of like, yeah, if I really am so, you know, I just want to play this so badly, maybe I might go digital just to play it early. But aside from that, I think I'm going with the base game, unless the only way to access it early, which is what it looks like for the digital deluxe edition, is to go with the digital deluxe edition. We'll see anyway. Either way, you see it on the screen. And with the physical, you get again the base game, 2 character unlock keys. I guess you get bonuses for linking save data as long as you're on the same platform. You get the Hinokama Chronicles save data of 6 Kimetsu Academy character unlock keys for Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, Inosuke, Shinobu, and Gyu. And bonuses for sweep the board save data. I don't have that, although I did want to play that game. And yeah, there you guys have it. That is all the news we got for Demon Slayer. It looks like it's going to be a good year for Demon Slayer fans. Now, One Punch Man fans, I'm sure you gotta be ecstatically disappointed, shall I say, of waiting so long, because what was it, season 2 of One Punch Man came out in 2019-ish. I want to say it was either 2018, 2019 that One Punch Man season 2 came. A lot of people were upset. Overall, I'm just nowadays like, I could go back and probably watch that, although I don't know if I would, just because I really prefer to wait for season 3 and just enjoy it for what it was, because I really enjoy the One Punch Man story. Like, I just really enjoy seeing Saitama, the goofiness, the superhero stuff. Like, I just enjoy it for what it is, and I'm really hoping that with season 3 coming, that fans don't give it the same treatment regardless like they gave season 2, because that's probably why there's a massive buffer in between. What is that, 6 years in between season 2 and 3? But we finally got an update regardless for season 3 of One Punch Man, because fans been like, bro, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all announced it and it's been radio silence since. I think they put out like some character designs and stuff of characters we already know. But yeah, here's what was said. JC staff producer Atsuhi Fujishiro comments on One Punch Man season 3. Preparations for the 3rd season are steadily progressing. As a highly popular title with high expectations, we're committed to delivering a season that won't disappoint. And this is straight from, again, JC staff. So I think this is them to say that, yo, we know last time y'all were really angry with us because we had such a tight turnaround after inheriting One Punch Man from, I want to say it was Madhouse at that particular point. They got it from Madhouse, they inherited it, and ultimately they probably were told like, yo, you can take that title, you just got to do it really quick. And so they delivered what they did. And I think this time around, they're probably going to go a little more hardcore to make sure that that subsection of the fandom that was really upset with season 2 turns out really good. So we will see. I think that this is a great message of, dog, we're taking a while because we're putting in the work, okay? Like, and again, it's just good to hear that One Punch Man season 3 is still coming, and yeah, it's gonna probably be really good. Something else that I wanted to include in here for all the Yu Yu Hakusho fans, in case you don't know, that's one of my all-time favorite anime, period, point blank. Yeah, it's been on Netflix for quite some time, and if you haven't finished it, you haven't watched it, or you've really been wanting to rewatch it on Netflix, well, do it soon. Yu Yu Hakusho, one of the biggest shonen anime properties of the 1990s, and its continued legacy have kept it dropping a smile bomb on for decades. Unfortunately, it's about to become a lot more difficult to enjoy. Yu Yu Hakusho is currently streaming on Netflix amongst other streaming platforms. That will come to an end at the conclusion of this month, with the classic anime just one of many beloved programs leaving the streaming service. This gives fans a little bit less than a month to binge it all, although the live action incarnation will remain on the platform because, yeah, the live action, I think Netflix produced it, so they're going to keep it. Yu Yu Hakusho has been streaming on Netflix for quite some time at this point, but that's no longer going to be the case. On April 1st, 2025, April Fool's Day, jeez. The classic anime series will no longer be available to stream on the platform. It's currently currently the only anime that Netflix is losing in the coming month, although fans will lose other fan favorite titles. So fans, you got a few weeks if you want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. If you haven't finished it, make sure you finish it. If you've been wanting to rewatch it, or you just been wanting to watch it for the first time and you only got Netflix, you probably want to get on that like ASAP, you know what I'm saying? Forever ForneverWorld squad, stand up. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. I'm Tim. As always, people, have an awesome day, and yeah, peace out.
But in the end, it always ends with the end. So let's not pretend. We can always start anew. We can do it again. But in the end, it always ends with the end. So let's not pretend. We can always start anew. We can do it again.